So, I don't like microphone anyway. Hello, everyone. I will be doing the same intro bit as I did the first time. Stop talking. VOD viewers, you won't be seeing this, but for the last 6 minutes, I've had no audio. Doesn't matter. I've only streamed once the last month, and you may be wondering why. Because the last month I've had the most free time in a while, and the only time that I did stream was when I was on vacation. This is called the Sigma Grind Set. Um, and now I should be doing my first assignment for my class. But no, some things are more important. Right? We got a free game from the PlayStation. Is it working now? I want to check again. No, it is. Okay. What? No! No, that okay. So second problem is that you silly Billy. Also, I can while we're here, might as well just you can adjust the chat, right? Can it go somewhere else? Where am I now? It's barely visible, right? That's what I said. Okay, computer can't be visible. It's like right there. I'm gonna put it like right in the middle anyway. This is exciting. Observation as it's configured the accessibility for the accessories in part or not. Oh, it is on the top. Okay, good. Yeah, no, I usually just put it like five more than once. Let us continue. Or begin, I should say.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, but I could barely even hear it.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what Employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
You played this game?
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Approved closet ending. Guess I'll find out what that is. Also, maybe I have to be a little bit louder than usual because I don't have any mic I'm connected to. Which is so silly. 427. Those numbers add up to 13. So you know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm peculiar. Why am I like sliding? Is that how people walk? Yes, of course. What do you say? I I just work. Wait, I like work. I just hate my boss. Okay. Interesting. What do you say? I hope this says file. Because I hope it says mile. Do you say? Wait, we're getting close to really funny. We're so close. Wasn't me. Funny. Relation to funny. Yes, it is. But it's funny. Alright. Let's see. I hate Mondays. I don't. I think Mondays are fine.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Slightly remember this. See it's go peeking? Oh my god, I actually told people that I'm live.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yes, of course. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Thank you, I have strategies. Oh, it's the ending!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We'll follow the rules this time. Let's see. Let me in! I just want to read what they say. I'm sorry.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
How do I undo it?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
042.
2845.
Fine.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
I haven't seen any playthroughs. I just
He stepped
know
into the
people
newly
really like
opened
the
passageway.
game, and I've seen like the doors part. That's it. What are you? Yes. a reason why I'm wearing these. I can't say.
Descending deeper into the building,
No, I have no idea
Stanley
what that is.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just
Go
can't
back
wait to
down!
find
You
out.
need to follow the rules! Oh no.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Let's go back down the elevator.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Okay. Let's go back up the elevator.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
It's the boss's office.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office.
What's that there?
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
You do not get...
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process. All right. I had, of course, going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air
Testing,
in
testing,
a
1, 2,
landscape
3.
of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Brain storytelling.
That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air.
Testing,
in a
testing, 1, 2,
landscape
3.
of stories that's grown stale and repetitive.
Brain storytelling. Audio still sucks. Okay, so now we're going to go up the elevator.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator, but the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill.
Mm.
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems
Yeah.
like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and
Not
I are
everyone.
doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel
You
sharp
should not
and
taste my
vital
patience.
and
I will do this
alive.
again.
That's why people like
I
you
have
so
all
much,
day.
Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh,
Okay.
good, we're here.
Oh, this is somewhere else. I don't want to be here. I guess we don't have a choice.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
So it's me. White man has been here. How can you tell? Red carpet. Yeah, isn't it? Evening. I got issues with you. You're problematic.
Ah, yes, here it is.
That was Minecraft
Just through
song.
this door.
Hold on, we're not done. Stanley. The world's first sentient machine. I'm right here, buddy. You're the second. Okay.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Okay. What are my notes? Congrats again. Remember where you came from. Your co-workers. Break a leg, champ. Yeah, boss. Stanley, me, David, age 6. Break a leg, champ, your boss again. Okay. Very inspiring. Who came up with pizza? Also me. Question mark? Yes. Welcome. So my 15 seconds of fame. There it is. I loved it. Okay, so do we start over? Okay, so let's actually do everything he says.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Faster! Faster!
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Good splits.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright, everything we will continue this moment. What are you? Portal? Portal 2?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's go. What are these numbers? What do they mean, Mason? I get it. They want me to press the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I think I will, actually. Not before I press this button. Okay, let's press. More reading. Stop seeing I hate Mondays.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Which was it? Doesn't look like my room. Yeah, that's 27. That's not my room. Gotta stop that. Misinformation. Fuck.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Onward.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Truth.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I don't know about all that. Oh, I should have put the brightness up. Boink.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I didn't do
After
that.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
I can't even hear you.
You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
It's green. It's yellow.
What's that?
And it's red.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
No, I do. I've
played
this game 20
times. Timer, that something in this room was capable of turning it off.
Why?
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
Don't
humble.
patronize me.
This is not a challenge.
I'm
It's
the
a
hero.
tragedy. You wanted to control this world.
I control the
I'm
story
going to destroy it first, so
because
you
I make the
can't.
big bucks.
Take a look at
Robert
the clock,
Downey
Stan.
Jr.
That's 30 seconds you have left to
and
strike.
I
30 seconds
am
until a big boom and then nothing.
the hero.
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail
And you know
life,
what's
or
funny?
will you
I could do whatever I want.
let it go
But I
peacefully,
won't.
all a
And
part
you're
of the joke? And believe
just an
me,
evil
I will
villain.
be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in
This
until the moment I say,
has been my
clear
story.
up.
8 years ago.
All of his co-workers were gone.
It's like hours.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There's the door in the middle. I guess we're supposed to press the aisle.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball. Let it ball.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Ooh, a passageway. A button. Portal 2.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this
What?
place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the
That was
strength to find out?
my antagonist speech earlier. I feel like I had timed it pretty well until the end.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
What are you?
Each bore the number of an
It's
employee in the
234.
building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom
234.
meant
What's up with that?
nothing.
Supper chill, foe. Don't you know not to trifle with me? I am. Vengeance. I am.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
Alright,
it.
let's go.
His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Blind to the world! There should be a mod of this game, but
Here was the proof.
narrow.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Yes!
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
It's not even proper
Whatever
space,
life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, guess that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday, maybe. It's Tuesday. Welcome back, everybody, to the stream. I appreciate you all waiting. We're going to continue playing Stanley Parable today. I really liked the first one. I feel like I got it's the Ultra Deluxe Edition, so I feel like I don't know if there was more or less in the original. But best part, I don't have to wear glasses or sunglasses, whatever. I don't have to wear anything. Let's continue on with the game. I think we got 3 endings last time. At the very end, we got the one that's actually had the achievement that said beat the game, which I guess was your intended thing to do the first time. Before that, we got I accidentally pressed the on button, and Stanley, me, as the hero, as a martyr. And what happened the first time? Does anyone remember what happened the first time? 'Cause I do not. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's get down to business. The feet, the hands, in the sand, those signs, strangest fish I ever met. You can bet
All of his
before
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
somehow
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
out of
simply
fun.
missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all,
What is
just to
this?
spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking it all in? I could do that. I could do that for sure.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at
The
these
narrator
chairs
just
and
told
some
me to
paintings.
drink, so I think I
Really
will.
worth
Cheers.
it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
What'd you say?
But at last,
That
he had
was a
enough of
beautiful.
the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yup.
Stanley was so bad at following
I am.
directions,
A4.
it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
That's south. Let's see. Yes. $5,000 penalty? I can jump.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. But in his eagerness to prove that he is
There's no
in
jump
control of
mechanic
the
in the
story
game.
and no one gets to tell him what to do,
I was about
Stanley
an
leapt from the
epic play
platform
bad
and
though.
plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Everybody loves me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Funny.
When Stanley
okay,
came
everyone
to a
loves me.
set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew
Why
it
is that
perfectly
good?
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
My
just to
Twinkie
admire
from
it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, they got me.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
It's okay.
Feeling a wave of
One
disbelief,
more
Stanley
trick up my
decided to go
sleeve.
up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Uh-oh. No. That's it.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then
Wait a
something
second,
occurred
that's
to
not a
Stanley.
number.
Maybe, he thought to himself,
Gotcha.
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Okay,
Why
stop.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job
not a
pushing
number.
buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Wait.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for
There's
himself?
something about that.
Stanley
know.
is as awake right now
I feel like
as
it's
he's ever
saying
been
one,
in his
two,
life.
something else.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Yes. I knew it! It says 1-2-B4. It's supposed to say 1-2-B4.
Stanley began screaming.
I got
Please,
it.
someone wake me up. My name is
I got it.
Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office.
I know.
I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
It all makes sense now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why are you like sus? Why are you funny? You, no. Okay, sus. Where's funny? Where?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
This up in about 10 months. Is this what it's saying?
Yes,
No.
really worth it being here. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
No.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Well, I'm not. Urgent. I'd even try. They put up Valentine's Day stuff at work already. It's January 26th. Psych. Got him. It's not a headcanon. It's confirmed.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, Then pick up the phone.
I just don't really care. That's a UK outlet, by the way. Makes sense. Yeah, no, it definitely is. That's just, how does that make sense? That shadow doesn't seem right. Cigarettes! Oh, cigarettes! Okay, now this is a game. Finally, something interesting. Let's count how many there are. Are all of these cigarettes? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Let's go. I would hang up too. Hang up. Before I start molecularly changing the phone. Though it's not even a phone. I'm gonna turn it into a sandwich. Yeah, you don't want that. I'm gonna turn your phone to a sandwich.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now,
I don't like
I
that
want you
number.
to
Only
come
has
in and tell
12.
me all about your.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their
No, I
life to
didn't.
you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Hello.
This is a very
Um,
sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Morning.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly
Oh
what
my
he's
god, it's
told
gonna
to
turn into my
do.
office.
Now he's pushing a button.
No.
Now he's eating
Help
lunch.
me!
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into
What
the
do you know?
unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize
Oh!
about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
That's real. I need clips. Clip that.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he
I mean, I'll
began to
probably
fill it with
clip
many
stuff after,
possible
because
paths and
I need more.
destinations.
I need stuff from our
Down one path
2025
lay an
video already.
enormous round room with
Still, I'm
monitors
thinking about
and
it already.
mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What? What have we become?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
Yeah, I just need to push. I need to push the button. That's what I need to do.
I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time we'll see.
I considered all my options.
Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
The Stanley Parable.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's close to that. New content! I don't need that yet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
We'll keep
doors,
going. We'll try this one again.
To the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh my god, there's still 44 cigarettes.
Stanley, is that you?
No, I can get.
Hold on, sweetie.
That's
Sorry
something
to
I
keep
can
you
get.
waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
I mean, I can still be
Okay, there
ace.
we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No, yeah, in the
This is
game,
a
I got a
very
wife,
sad
but like
story
that don't
about the
mean nothing.
death of a man named Stanley.
And if she died, she dies, she dies.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a
All right,
job that demands nothing of him,
I
and
guess
every
we'll
button that
we'll
he
listen to
pushes
him this time.
is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to
No
work.
way, there is
One might
one.
even
There's
feel
no
sorry for
way.
him, except that he's chosen this life.
I tried.
But in
I
his
didn't even
mind,
try. Well, now that you said that
in
it
his
is.
mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of
I
new
feel like it was
lands.
before.
It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh my goodness, why do I keep doing that?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped
I
up
would
from
live
his
in this, by
desk
the way.
to realize that
I don't know
all
about
of his
y'all.
co-workers, his boss,
Need more than enough
everyone in
space
the
for me.
building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Okay, sir.
So
Stay
he
blessed.
went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely
Stop.
even mattered
I
what
gotta
lay
watch straight
behind
now.
each door. The
No
mere
doubt.
thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Question mark.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always
Parables.
feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell
Okay.
him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay, I won't do it. Go to work in the morning. No, no, no. For the day. Go to work for the day. I would kill myself if I had straight hair. I'm actually gonna. Fringe bangs would be interesting. myself out by destroying there. I could wait it out. I don't know. Wait the whole minute. RXD. What do you mean? That's Chabarashka. Okay.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him
That's
in a way
so
that he'll
BS, bro. I
understand
was
that every
listening, bro.
second he
I was listening
remains
to you,
here,
bro.
he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to
No,
see
I
what I
wasn't gonna do
see?
that. I'd only
How
do it
can
if
I
I had
make him
straight
look
hair.
at himself?
So mean.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley
Well,
pushed a button.
try to do
And
it.
I tried.
Well, nothing happened. So, we tried, we failed, and we Chabarashka. What is Mara? We'll look at it. We'll look that up. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, it does mean die. Okay. It does. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I thought it was just like more something, but I don't know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, okay. Funny. So thank you, die. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
When Stanley came
What are we
to a
going
set
for
of
today?
two
Put a poll
open
in the chat.
doors, he entered the door on
Mods,
his
put a poll in the
left.
chat. Mods, can you mods mods put the poll in the chat, please. How do you put a poll? Poll. Everyone. Right door or left door? Whoever donates the most money wins. Poll closes in 24 hours. Good luck. I have a few bracelets. I have quite a few. I don't know. Yeah, no, I still got the one.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He
Okay,
seems to
stop.
think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Stop that. It's time to review what I've got. What I've got. All right. So let me change my thing real quick. Move it over here. Wait, can I go middle? Is that possible? No, I can't go middle. Oh, that would be sick. But I cannot. You will not see what. Okay, never mind. Actually, that was good. No. How do I do this? Oh no, just forgot how to do this. I guess. I don't know. What am I doing? What am I doing? Overlay options. What am I? Okay. For some reason, I completely forgot how to do this. But that's fine. I remembered. I understand it now. I understand it now. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Hello? Why am I square? Square. Square. Fine. Okay. Fine. Where am I? Guess we'll go back to that light. Guess we'll go back to that lighting. Turn that off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. Okay, so for the things that I got, we have MHS, Stronger Together. Oh, get that off me, fool. Um, we have No Rules, Facebook.com/No Rules. If I remember the context for any of them, I'll say we got this one. Someone I paid for someone like a 8-year-old kid to make me this at the campground. Um, we got No Rules again. Yeah, when I went to Spirit Halloween and I rounded up, I got that one. For last time I'll ever round up, by the way. I'll never donate again.
Stanley just stood.
BSU Bears. Uh, this one. Slow down for Dylan. You can't really see it, but it says hashtag slow down for Dylan because Dylan was killed in a car crash. Um, this is for Huntington's. Family is everything. And then there's this one I picked up because there was a state trooper at at work. I helped him set up the thing, and I took one of these. It says Massachusetts State Police, but I wanna go like this. So it says Massachusetts State Lice. I think that would be funny. And that is the ones I got. That's the ones I got. Shit get crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. You know, I don't really lose mine because I don't wear them, but I got them. It was super fun to do back in high school. So that's what we did, you know? That's what we did. You had to collect them. I feel like actually our last couple years of high school was actually, um, you know how everyone, our thing in middle school is if you had the most fidget spinners, you're the coolest person in the world. But um, but then it's like you had to wear the largest combination of wristbands. Largest combo of wristbands. So you can get some rich bands. Yeah. All right, moving back over here. 1 second. Also, I'm gonna flip myself. So I'm on this side. Just gonna do that real quick. Okay. Oh, it looks so weird. Oh, that's weird. It's not even okay. That's not even okay. Why do I look like that? I'm flipped. Literally flipped. Oh no, that's not what I meant, bro. That's not what I meant. Michael, wait, Michael Jordan? Not gonna lie, craft stores like Michael Jordan's goes hard with that. There's bracelets. Yes, yes. I prefer getting them from really, I don't know how to say it without being rude. I like getting them from kids because they don't charge you as much. That's what I like. I love child labor. Actually, that's not weird to say. I fully support it. I think the just children yearn.
There doing nothing. Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything.
Mm,
This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
yes, yes, of course. I don't know if I can handle me looking like this because I'm flipped. That's not normal. Like I can't be that. It's just not right. But I'll continue to sit here until something happens. I just want you to pick for me. Hubert, what's your name? Hubert. Party City shut down? Why? And what happened to It's a Party? Is that different? Um, is there still the Party City? I'm not gonna say where, but that one, the one nearby. Because I should go. I should go. I can't look at myself like this. I gotta change back. Okay, I'll just be here. Is that okay? What happened? How about that? Although I'm looking at the side, I'm looking like outside now, which is a bunch of Dollar Trees. Well, okay, you know what? They deserve that. It's not a Dollar Tree anymore. It's a $1.25 tree. So, deserved.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his
Yeah,
inability to do anything.
yeah.
This is why
Wow, the
Stanley and I
lighting's a
are on
lot
such
better
good
on your
terms.
screen than it is mine. Okay, I was gonna. We'll go right. We'll go right today.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his
No, I'm
stomach,
bad.
giddy in a way he had
Show you
never
something.
known before.
Yes, this. I
Was
need
it this
this.
room? A connection
Only
between
eight
the
months.
two? Could a man
Coffee
love a
nut.
room? I
What?
mean,
Whatever you
truly,
say.
truly, deeply,
Hashtag. I
madly,
better say
but eager
hashtag
to get back to
swag.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, wait. There's something else. Yeah, we didn't do this yet.
And so he detoured through the maintenance
Don't say it.
section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yes.
But Stanley didn't want to go
Coffee
back to
nuts,
the office.
more like
He wanted to
coffee
wander
Milano.
about and get even further off track.
Y'all ever go to
So
Coffee
now in
Milano?
order
They
to
got
get back,
dance
he needed
days.
to go,
You dance, you give your best dance move, you get a free coffee.
From
Oh,
here, it's, left.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever
Walmart
said it
shutting
was to
down
the
would be...
right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I got you.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, okay. Oh my freaking god. It's a van. What about the shows that are rare? I prefer my shows well done. What?
No,
Wait.
no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Can I open my eyes now? They did shut all the good pirate sites too. Watchfreemovie.es was the best one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, which one? I was gonna go down the escape one. That's what I was gonna do next.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm not gonna do that.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
Okay.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or...
No.
Hold on. Why am I asking you?
My eyes
I'm
closed.
the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Why can't I go down this one? That's literally liberal. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't like pirating small indie games, but EA shit, go for it. That's what you sound like. No one knows what you did. They're just pulling back to let you torture yourself in the guilt.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there
Thank you.
definitely
I've
was
been
a
saying
story
this.
here
I've been
before.
saying this for 14 years working at this
to
company.
restart the game
I've been
again?
saying it this
Well, I
whole
find it
time.
unlikely that
And
we'll
y'all
ever
don't even know.
progress
Y'all
by
don't even know
starting
nothing
over and
about
over
this.
again.
You know,
But it's got to be better than this.
I've been here since the
Okay, let's give
beginning,
it a shot.
and
Why not?
I've had enough of it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fellas, I just got the deep
Okay,
humidifier.
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
It's actually a blue, white, and pink flag. So you know. Doors aren't closing. I hate Mondays. No, I don't. Funny. Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Fine, dude. Oh, here we go. This is so epic.
Now well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Is that 100,000 or is that a million? Big difference. Yeah, I'd sell my soul to Netflix. I'd do anything for 100K. Hold on. Fine. The line. It's actually the Q.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
No.
Here's a thought.
Y'all, we gotta stop
Wherever
doing
we
this.
end
We
up
gotta
be
stop
our
putting
destination,
B's with
even if
threes.
there's no
It's
story
not
there.
okay.
Or to put it
I don't
another
allow
way,
this.
is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself?
Perhaps.
Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
I'm not even listening.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Nice, okay. I'm gonna behind this. What's the mystery? Oh my gosh, we're counting down! Almost done! Dog. the edges. Anyway. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, I'm gonna move my camera back. Move it back. There, you go back. Your reviews. Financial records. Deputy Rowan. Oh no! Wait, what? Hold on, I gotta go back this way. Wait, what?
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Yeah.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I see. I understand it now. The Oh, the fern? It's the fern. Oh, okay. Gotcha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're not counting them like the cigarettes, because it's not quite as interesting as cigarettes. But it does have 197 hours. Beep, 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 beep.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
Funny?
No,
What's funny?
no. Line, you
There it
do
is,
know
funny.
we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The
Look
story?
at this verbal.
Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh my gosh, where are we? Right here. What are we, some kind of Stanley Parable?
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this
No.
to us? And after we trusted you,
Linya.
after everything we've been through, you...
Yes.
Oh, I can't take
The
this
Linya's never
anymore.
failed
Hell
me.
with it. Restart.
It's never failed me. Except, okay. We didn't lose, though. We just restarted. So it's never failed.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting,
made-up language.
daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path,
think that's
a
a
new
strong
story.
word.
Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Bonjour comments.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
You
I'd
come
also like to
from?
veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor
Not
rooms.
too much in the
Just
line.
don't
Not
acknowledge
too
it,
much.
and we should be fine.
Not too much. Prosit cop. Byline. That's embarrassing. You have to
A
retire.
choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
This one.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Anyway.
Hold up, what's this?
I feel like I've seen this before.
The confusion ending.
Although
You're telling
it's
me
a little bit different.
that's what this is? It's all one giant
A little bit,
ending?
different language.
And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes?
Sorry, that's my actual
determined?
OCD. I have to go clockwise.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall.
Whoa, what the heck?
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
Don't do that.
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I
I'm
don't want to
deleting your
forget what's
comments.
going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the
Got him.
cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Yeah. Okay. Good biscuit. Good biscuit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm also not gonna get content. It's so tempting.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Going left this time. Wait. Yes. Okay. I was gonna go left. I want to go through the escape.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Bro, you're gonna.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
No, I don't think I will. Okay, I guess I will. I just ate this tomato. Ew, it's gross. Why'd I just eat a tomato? I'd rather eat straight queso. Oh, queso. I'm thinking we're making a game show. It's gonna be like, oh, I don't know. Wake me up when... Part 2.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Okay,
that
here we
read
go.
Mind Control Facility.
Stop it.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I go.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized, nope, still on board with death.
All right. You ready for your violent death? Shabadaska, what do you think of violent death?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley
Somebody
still
loves
had
you.
every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I love Mora.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What do you mean the thing? So disrespectful. 14, though.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Further!
Stanley
Closer!
can't see the bigger picture.
Jabberosca!
He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body,
God,
killing
and
him
just when
instantly.
I thought it couldn't get worse, just kidding. I'm survived! No, title screen. No! No! Wait. Le para! Oh my god, it's actually
And
in
yet it would be
Portuguese. It's
just a
crazy.
few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I'm going over here now. Bro changed teams.
When every
Goes out.
path you
No!
can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
You know, something about this new narrator just makes me not want to listen to them. Alright, let's go on. Planta todo escritorio. Wait, is narrator the same Macy's, what's the word in English? Mannequin? That would be The Office! The Office! I love Michael Scott Deutschschut. The Office US, even The Office UK. I love both of them, although one ended way too early. Sons de Bot. I don't even know what Boto is. Oh, the buttons. What are you? The two doors. It's computers in the office. One is installing. Wait, are they? Markiplier. You're so Portuguese. Oh, these are in English. Hold on, how's her hand right now? I need to go closer. I need to see. 8 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 9 of clubs. Whoever is playing this on their computer is terrible at solitaire. Let me explain why. Let me let me explain why. Okay. So, there is a 3 of diamonds that you can put under the 4 of clubs, obviously. Now, there is evidence to assume that the game has already started because typically when you play solitaire, you start with your draw hand fully on the face card side. And there are two ways to play solitaire: draw one or draw three, both of which have already begun. And so the mathematically best thing to do, and basically anyone just common sense, you would put the three over the four first to see if anything else can do for you, because drawing cards makes you lose a little bit of points. Um, so this game sucks. Model design, art. I mean, these are music, original music design. Um, actually, I don't know. Song design. That's what it is. Additional music, additional VFX, office project, office and projection. That's involved. Direct art direction, audio direction. Disinvolvement. I'm gonna guess that means there's involvement in direction. Impeccable work of the narrator. So this guy was the actor for the narrator. Okay. Additional involvement. Rito, like Dorito. Ever heard of them? Heard of Doritos? I don't know if they're actually a snack. If you didn't know. Quality control coordinator. Office administrator, produced by Alicia Contestebali. Involved in console for 27th Century Toys LLC. Okay. Based on the work by the Stanley Parable, 2013. Um, nine, nine, wait, no, device. I forget what device is. Design additional by Jack Eddings, Colin Jenkins, Jack Parsing. Programming, Jesus, he's back. Animation by Rai Soderbergh and Maxine Leblet, Lebel, Lebel. The Stanley personality visuals. We didn't see any of those. And webmaster Shane Sweeney, Sydney Sweeney. There's two ways to go. No. He was capitalized. Oh my gosh, the office clock. You know why they call it the cockpit, right? Finally free. Nice. I like that. You better cut that out. Had it to here with you. Oh my gosh, the Zen model? The final Zen model? I haven't even seen these. The game is now paused. Escape menu. Ooh. Trailers. My ear hurts. Oh. Is that so? Let's sit down. I want nothing to do with you. The Office. UK or US? This matters. Emails from the narrator? Hold on. What was that? It's freaking 5 o'clock. Oh wait. It's not final. Where was that? Where was that team? I'll hear you out. What time is it? It's time for lunch. No. No. Nope. Nope. Nice try. Stanley's offense. Nothing special. I've seen it before. So when I was in London, there is a museum called Tate Modern, and it just has very interesting art. Caden actually refused to call it art, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go that far because I thought they were pretty good. I don't know. Some of the art included rags on the walls, as you can clearly see, very clearly. What? I go like this. There we go. Look, there's that. There's that thing. Rags on the walls. Poems. Those are poems. Bunch of radios all stacked up together. Crucified frog. It's hard to see. Yeah, pretty good art. I don't want to be here anymore.
Big red button.
I gotta sit down. Oh yeah. Um, I was kind of joking about how good the art was.
Let's
It wasn't
see.
that bad, but it was free.
Stanley
It was
walked
free.
through the green door. Then he pushed the number 4.
Yeah, they got great museums in London. They got some good ones. We actually, when I stayed in London, it was, oh my God, I only came back a week ago. Um, I was right by where Jack the Ripper was doing all his shenanigans. Oh, and this actually has stair physics. That's awesome. So there was two different Jack the Ripper museums, and there was also a chip shop called Jack the Chipper. It was awesome. It was great. I've seen all this. UK. What? How much did I miss? Michael the Robert. Okay, is this just an ending? Because it said the title screen and then it had this. Also, the Natural History Museum in London was really good. That was also free. I didn't think it was, but it was. They really beg you to donate.
Stanley pushed
Sit down.
button.
I donated enough by getting my pictures. Hold on. I guess this is sharing. This is sharing time because I'm bored. I'm not actually going to love you, Stanley. Terribly. Where's my pictures? Okay, so this is me standing outside. This is me next to a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That guy was chill. This is awesome. This is me next to a Diplodocus. Got real dinosaurs. It's crazy. Yeah, we got great museums, but they're all paid. I'd honestly even say our museums are better, but they are paid, which isn't great. Like I guess they gotta support themselves somehow, but I don't know. There's literally I was there for a week. I couldn't even go to all the good ones. It was
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
what are you talking about? Bad time to start. I'll be right back. The door was open. The door was open. Sucks. Check what Oscar, what do you got to say? Nothing good. Apple is watching me. Um, you soon. I will come back to you.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What have we not done?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic,
Yeah,
perhaps too
he kind of
majestic.
gave up.
Like a
Well,
combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this, but eager to get...
okay, so maybe let's try the new content. See what's on here.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
So that's different. What happens if we keep restarting? Oh, okay. See, this is something.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's see. Okay, back to this. Alright, okay.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. Oh, funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, New content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. I don't know what it means.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley
Who are
Parable
you?
Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Yeah.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Sure.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
All right, Tim.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Yes, of course. This is so exhilarating! Yes! It's almost there! Yes! I don't know if I jumped too many times.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Yeah, no, like we get the jump now.
I knew there had to be something else.
I could have used that.
Let's see it.
About an hour and a half.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Let's see. Boxes. Let me take a seat. Oh, but now I can't jump.
That's it?
Thank you!
You've got to be kidding me.
That was great.
You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
It's not
accountable.
called out.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I'll go with that. It's fine with me. I feel like I know this more than I know the other, like the actual game. So, Oscar, what do you think? That's very respectable. Thank you, Shabaraska. I've seen you before.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent!
Oh my
I
gosh,
want to
I
show
can
you
actually use the crouch
something!
A spoon. I can actually use the crouch feature for the first time in the game. Coffee nuts. Well, we did it.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking
It was
about the
that bad.
past and
Good
how
jump.
much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Oh, yes.
Just our little secret. Take a look.
I'll be right back. Oh, wait. Oh, well. What's it do? What are thy? What does thy entail? Well, that's not what.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Grass!
Experiences like the launch
I
of
can
the
finally
Stanley
touch
Parable
it!
on PC.
What? Look at the graphics. Yes. Finally. I can pretend to touch grass. I can tell everyone I did it. The memory zone is amazed.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
2013. I remember 2013. I think 2013 I was in my sophomore year of high school and halfway through the year COVID hit. And overall though, it was a fun year. Lion pressure up Steve. Yeah, okay. Linguists identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved words by the Washington Post. Remember when the Washington Post was a thing? Oh my goodness. 6 components of a great corporate culture. John Coleman, Harvard Business Review. Okay. Administration. Wow. Smile because it happened. Me millionth dollar. Yeah. I can't wait to get that in 5 years. 6 years. Yes. Story. Slauson? Is that even a thing? Yeah, it is. More grass. Yes. From the future.
Je suis dans la mémorisation.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art,
Yeah,
Stanley
actually,
Parable strives
2013
and
was
then
closer
succeeds
to
to be every game ever
World War
created."
II than it
Did you
is
hear that, Stanley?
2014.
Every game ever created.
About that?
That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
That's all I need, though. That's all I need. Gosh, 2 options. The original remake. What this says? Stanley! Spell it. Memory sound. I saw the spoon before. What do you think you are? Some kind of funny? Oh my gosh, funny! France! Literally anything. People play games because what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. Gotcha.
Here's another moving passage, this time from
A 9!
GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with
literally
in a
nothing
game.
bad.
9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Gosh, repeatable carpet textures. Yes. Grass. Okay, where else we go? Let me in. The serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Simpler
But I wouldn't give to go
Yes.
back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
drinks.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely
No.
popular online storefront for computer games.
Pressurized
I haven't
gas.
looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
No!
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I love you just the way you are, man. And I think I don't think you're funny at all. I think you're super serious. Well, use this one. No, it's upside down. It's a thumb down. It says Dead Maverick.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Use this one.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
No.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me.
I don't think anything. I think you're
always,
great.
well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
It's fragile, just like your ego. Just kidding, Narada, I love you. No, not another one!
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Oh, is this something? I thought this was from another game, but I actually do. I have seen this. That was an egg.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years.
Because I'm a man of my
Here
word.
and there,
I
forward and back, and
I
never
live
a
just
moment
the
before
way you
lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth.
Finger slipped.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Mississippi? Oh, no, it's not. It's shush. Now, I would like to see if this ever changes. I'm pretty sure it does when you skip, but I'm not going to go in real time.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here. Wait here for me.
I'll try.
And don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes. Good.
I'm gonna set a 3-minute timer.
Right back.
We'll find something else to do. I'll put it. Hey Siri, start a 3-minute timer.
3 minutes counting down.
Yeah, just being a good friend. TikTok. That's banned, actually. Never mind. I swear, if he doesn't come back. Okay, if he comes back after like 10 minutes, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm just being good. But, you know, everyone's got that. So what should I draw next? Let's see. Nothing. These aren't good. They're just not good. But I'll try. I've been working on Dragon Ball stuff. Now I'm going to show this one because it looks good. You can see nothing to it. Yeah. But I didn't really. I took that off. This one though, this is me in Dragon Ball style. That's what I look like in Dragon Ball. This is what Roblox cool guy. How do I show this? What a Roblox cool guy would look like? Oh, goodness. You know what I could do? Just put these in my hair. Maybe that works. Oh, it's only been 3 minutes. Okay. Well, I didn't put that back. Stalling. I'm trying. Oh, just a little bit. That's fine.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
No!
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again.
Let him get.
I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, I know you too will. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the
it already looped. Sorry.
Oh, Stanley.
I need a little bit more than that.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
I will hear you out on that. Set another timer. Actually, while I do that, I'm just going to tell people that I'm streaming again. Just waste some time, you know? What happened to narrator? What literally happened to narrator? I don't know, but I'm actually live. And isn't that crazy, cheers? Like, I want to hear you out, but it's also kind of the point of the game. It's kind of the point that I need to be pressing this button. Yeah, I guess there's no choice. Okay. Here we go. It's gonna be 3 years.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being.
If I saw someone after
It was
a year,
incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
How is that still working? Imagine anybody stuck with that for
But they
years.
didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, "Entertain us." It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, "He's talking too much," they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, "Oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place," while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people,
Awesome.
because otherwise, without our entertainment,
It's
we have
fitting.
nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our
As the
deeper
children
nature
say,
and find a resounding
justified
emptiness
crash
gazing
out.
back with unyielding.
Bye. Yeah, sorry. You went on your evil arc. Now it doesn't work anymore. Okay. Are you okay? How are there still leaves? I guess they can't decompose it from that thing. Let's decompose it. Let's go on. Let's go.
The
Let's go.
end is never the end, 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 is never the.
Eventually, there's something that happens. Is the clock okay? Okay, that's good. It's a little roughed up around the edge. The plant is not okay. Oh. Is it nighttime? Sorry. I think it was one. Hold on. Is the clock okay? Oh, no. That's not good. Move! There we go. This is good. The plant is okay. Oh, that's a close. Start. It's just the circle of life. I don't know. I think this is the good ending. Oh, well. Unfortunate. It's the clock. Weird. What is that? Oh. As long as the clock's protected by the rock on top and it's okay, then we're fine. We're fine. Oh, well. What happened? Rotation of the Earth? What happened here? Finally, more grass.
So this is the Stanley parable. I get it.
I understand. Onward. There are more parables to... Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The new there we go, see? Yeah, the new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Wait. No, not you. All right. New. What's over there?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense.
Now that's an
I
idea.
say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes! Yes!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few
New
minor
mug.
additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged
that
sequel.
says something.
An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
That's good. Quote-unquote welcome!
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh, listen. Yep. Oh my gosh. Empty. Empty. It's so good. So thought through. Yep. New mug. Time to wake up. And you are, never underestimate a coffee enjoyer who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room. I need that one. What brand is that? Bro. Bros. Yeah, I see you. I see you. You're funny. You're silly. 2. This is my second cup. Content it out. New content part 2 is. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. They're back. See, it's the cool section. E. Two ferns. Wait, the fern never came up again. Fragile mansion. More TSP, better TSP. So this is what we're looking for, guys. We're looking for the paradigm shift. It's going to lead to the synergy, and so we're going for the brick and mortar approach, which of course means that online businesses they're the way out. That's the past. The future, it's all physical. Do the light door? I didn't try that. Should have tried it. The color red. Holistic value. Yes, of course. Also, we just so you know, we gotta get this in our head. 2 is more than 1, which means it's greater. Wait, that one's actually kind of good. See, this is so much funnier than the narrator. I was never a fan of the narrator. Can I just say? Can we just say? Like, it's finally, I need to get that off my chest. Like,
now, to be
nobody
clear,
liked that guy.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Yeah. It's good. Guess we'll never know. Not the red marker. That would be really funny if I had a red marker in my hand. It's over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's over behind the camera. Valued investors, this way to the show floor. Is that a freaking 2? Oh no. What is this? New features. What? No, this is in-cap assessment. I don't know if I support this bus. Man. New features. We're talking about 2. We're talking twice the gore. twice the love and twice the gore. Al Gore. Expo Hall 2. Who's taking a seat? Who's doing it?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Merch! Wait, where's the merch? Oh, merch. Need me some merch. I saw the new content. I would wear that. Big old brain. That's just Beatles. 2. The end is never. This t-shirt is the new feature. This is genuinely kind of good. 2. Yes, the Stanley Parable 2. The Stanley Parable 2. Oh, wait. Oh, it's actually captioned. That's cool. Quality with just the right amount of change. New content, new features, new ideas. The new update, the ray traced. Wait, ray traced? More of the same in a good way. Sequel to the. You got puzzle pieces as your floor. Many improvements. Yes, I see. No screenshots? No can do, mister. Just took 3. It just happened. Guess I took a screenshot. The baby is all grown up. Bankruptcy. Please, no screenshots. They'll never know. Really? Are you sure?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
You press these. I wouldn't call that too small. Alright, so the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. It's gonna be really funny if you have to put in your own name.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living. Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I feel it.
Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it
That's
again.
me. That's crazy.
Oh, it hits even harder the second
It
time.
said my.
If this were the
It actually
only new
said my
feature in
name.
the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this
Take a
personal
break.
validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the gym button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Ah, just can't get enough of that. Okay. Glass bottles, no mugs. All right, enough of that. I like how you put the underscore thing. You know,
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
No jumps remaining. So, after 3 months, you can change your username. And I had Kalen Does Twitch, but then I changed it to Kalen Does Twitch underscore because I don't even remember the reason. But it was some reason I was going to change it right back. But then I thought, then I found out, oh, you have to wait 90 days. I'm like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But I waited 90 days. And now it's been 4 years since then. So a little more than 90 days. And I still haven't been able to change it back because apparently someone has Kalen Does Twitch even though it doesn't show up. And I think that person is me. With another name. Also, you can request a name change from someone who's dormant if they haven't accessed their account in over a year. And there was a person named Kalen who has an account but doesn't post, doesn't stream, obviously, and has no history. So maybe I might change my, request a name change to just Jess Game. That'd be kind of fun. Yes, it's healthy. I love a trophy.
Contest trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you're... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I don't trust. You do nothing but lie. Yeah. About geopolitics. Okay, I got my eye on you. What was I even saying? Neopolitical grids?
What else? What other exhibits have we
Wait!
seen yet?
The jump circle! It's here!
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Yes!
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
No, you did not do this. No. No, you did. No, it's not. But did that other door only unlock when you did the 30 jumps? Because, I mean, it would be funny if they're just playing a joke on that and, like, you had to use 30 jumps, but now you have none left. But if you could, I would like to do that. collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What is this? Yes. All right. So I feel like rewarded now. I feel actually something.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
All right, see ya. What this is the name of that game? Settings World Champion. Decorations, epilogue. They got an epilogue. Oh. Collect the book, which is there. Infinite hole, of course. Exit. That's the lower level. Oh, alright. So exit. I'll go to exit. Infinite hole.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
See, this is why you're the worst.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
No, maybe you should. Reassurance button. How do we get out there? What's happened? Oh. The bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I will.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
I do. Yeah,
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay,
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Testing, 1, 2,
That
3.
really should be an award if
Hello,
it isn't
hello,
already.
hello, hello. Hello, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. I still don't, I have no idea how the audio is even fine. The button that says jam. Alright, where's the infinite hole? That's what I need. Freaking infinite, bro. Alright. It's time. This better be infinite. Rim. You shouldn't have shown me this. I just love graphs. So I will be staring at this for a while. Just keep going. Just keeps going. Science. It's a great graph. Thank you. See, that's a lot different from that, though. So I don't know about art. How did we get here? Onward. Wait. Huh? Did I miss it? What? No, it's not that way. This way. Oh.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I mean, I suppose. Infinite hole. All right. What's the word I can use? Geronimo!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
I'm enjoying
since
myself.
you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Do I have to?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Good timing. Geronimo!
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't
Yes,
know
I
what
did.
else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on.
So
Who
many more
actually
cigarettes,
wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be...
Sorry, I can't really hear. Gotta turn that back up.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I won't speak much.
This is the story of a man named...
When narrator's narrating, I guess.
Up here when you're ready.
I need to count cigarettes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. Okay. 72 cigarettes, not bad. 72 plus 44 is 116. So pretty good.
Oh, for heaven... You
I
see,
fell.
I was
The
right.
music.
The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said,
Wait,
"Yep,
what's
that's an
so not
infinite
normal
hole
about
right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Thank you.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, how is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose...
Oh yeah, so we're at the infinite hole,
I can do to fix this.
but then I went
I'm
down
out.
it 5 times,
Goodbye,
and
Stanley.
now it's not
You
very
couldn't
infinite.
bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole,
Also,
I get to
there's
do
72
literally
seconds.
anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
No! Wait, the bucket will help me. Don't tell me this is an ending. Huge one. Yes. So long shall become infinite. And downward. Oh! Oh my god, it's sick! Oh no, he's ugly. I didn't mean that, Stan. Change your perception. It's not good, it's not good. Yeah. Oh. Everything needs changing. And you. Yeah, I'll change it if you want.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're
okay
awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating,